My friends, let's talk about if...
Так, вот этот бедолашка. Значит, так. Окей, приступаем. Значит, спасибо за донаточ, и будем смотреть видос этого чудика. He sent me his solo. I had to say something. Типа, видимо, короче, он прислал мне мое соло. Я должен кое-что сказать.
Practicing guitar again today. Let's go through some really cool guitar practice clips from the community surrounding this channel right now and analyze all the technical details and what could maybe be improved technique-wise.
Да, это классическая сублимация, да, когда чувак в гитару не смог и все уделал татухами. Типа, что так вот запугать, напускать пыль в глаза и прочее.
Or practice-wise. I'm sure you will learn a lot from the following clips and you can use all that to get better yourself. And if you want to be in the next video next week, just click the link down below. Join the Patreon community with a membership that has Discord access, and I will talk about your guitar practice clips next time.
Да, это, короче, что-то, мне кажется, подобное было уже, да, когда он, типа, анализирует этих чуваков, вместо того, чтобы сказать, что там просто полная дреснина нелепая, он, типа, там что-то, типа, it's okay. Вот это, да, что это такое, modular picking? Это, типа, что какой-то, грубо говоря, локтевой сип, или что это за техника такая? И это типа... Nice. То есть что тут делать? Вот это... Что это за модуляр пикинг? Это анал пикинг. Это мат пикинг. Что за пиздец?
Nice. So that makes
Nice, конечно, ёпты, nice. Там места живого нет. Там просто петух, блядь, по струнам клювом скребет уставшим. Nice. Сука, как же я ненавижу эту хуйню, блядь, такой вот этот подход, когда просто, блядь, человек сыграл какой-то вот там... Yeah, it's awesome guitar player, it's very good solo, yeah! Well done, guy! Well done, really well done, yeah, nice guy, nice playing. Блядь, просто хочется за это харчками зелеными харкать в морду. То есть только как в фильме «Одержимость», что все просто кал. Только такой подход работает, и только он сам великий. Они nice. Таблеточник, блин.
That's the modular picking technique that I'm often talking about, that I kind of developed for my own music. It's essentially a mix of that sweep or economy picking approach where you're not attacking every single string individually, but you're going for a movement like this, but you're letting the notes of the arpeggios or chords overlap, which results in a really cool
вот,
sound.
Опять же, что вот это там какой-то Александр Улас, да, прислал ему, этот бедняжка Александр Улас, он просто, ну, как бы глухой сам, начинающий, понятно, что с него возьмешь, кроме анализов. И все, и он будет вот эту скребатню, как бы заниматься этой скребатней, да, и думать, что это какая-то классная штука, все. И как бы вот так и жизнь и проведет, скребя. Просто вот этот вот modular picking.
And I love that you can clearly see right here.
Clearly, ёпты, clearly, сука. Блядь, меня просто уже сгорает жопа с начала стрима сразу от этого. Ой, блядь.
The hand is moving up and down, no individual strokes at all.
Это еще называется beginner exercise. Я представляю, каким нужно быть просто бобо накачан, чтобы beginner exercise давать вот эту, блядь, скребатню такую. Сука. Просто, блядь.
This looks really great. The trick is...
It looks very great, блядь. Что ты несешь? Ёпты, что ты несешь? Вот хочется, ну, я как бы, ну, не буду оскорблять музыкантов, хотя он не музыкант, но хочется процитировать Скуфа с Дзена, вот это «Уймись уже, тварь!» То есть, что ты какой, блядь, несешь? Какой клирли? Ёп, просто такого хочется мата отборного насыпать, просто прямых оскорблений. Но ладно, будем держаться.
The aspect of this is the timing, because you don't just want to strum the chord, you really want to play perfect 16th notes or triplets or whatever note values you're going for. So this sounds really great. The one thing you...
Что ты несешь, блядь? Что с тобой не так, братан? Что ты несешь? Я хочу тебя взять за грудки и вот так вот просто спросить. Что ты несешь? На вот этот кудах пикинг, блядь, говорить it sounds really great. Ну, понятно, это, видимо, может, такая бизнес-модель, хотя я думаю, что этот как раз гитарный чушпан ничего не слышит. Но бизнес-модель, наверное, такая охранительная, да, что все, типа, годами скребут так вот рукой там. Yeah, it's nice. It's very great picking. Yeah, nice guy. Please pay next course next month. If you pay whole year, you can receive a discount. If you nice play, very clear. Сука.
you can see right here is the fretting hand. So the ring finger is kind of pointing in this direction a little bit while the pinky is curled. So for that kind of shape, the fretting hand can definitely be a little bit more relaxed. But since this is all about the picking and it feels really awkward once you start with this looks really promising to me already, and it sounded great as well.
Один только звук. Что это за какой-то двоящийся доплер-хорус? Что это, блядь, за какое-то... Просто какое-то броуновское движение, блядь, в хорусе? Как с таким звуком вообще можно заниматься? Кто это допустил?
I always love seeing this view with practice videos, and it really helps with analyzing the picking technique. What you could hear just slightly at the end right here was the grazing of one of the strings. As you know, with string transitions, we're always aiming for not grazing any of the strings that you're not trying to play on. But for those first couple of notes, it looked really great. The pick was always escaping that place from in between the strings to be ready for that next down or up strokes on the other strings. When it comes to the economy of motion aspect right here, of course you can always reduce the movements a little bit and be a little bit closer to every single string before the next stroke. But it's looking really good to me with that closed hand and with the movement coming from the wrist. If you ever struggle with building speed, you could look into the picking angles a little bit more, because you don't really see an angle change in order to avoid getting stuck in between the strings. So looking more into pick slanting and those angle changes could help with the speed aspect of it all. So this is a really challenging legato exercise, and it sounds very, very good already. Great.
Что ты, блядь, несешь, сука? Что ты несешь? Зачем ты это делаешь, блядь? Какой нахуй sounds very great? Это просто хромоногая, блядь, курица накудахтала говна с маховиком говна. С левыми с какими-то струнами. Блядь, какой же цыган. Просто цыган.
Great job. The comment mentions the string noise, and yes, this is definitely a very common occurrence with legato. The first step is analyzing where it's coming from. From the comment, it says, I believe it's coming from my index finger, and that could definitely be, because that's the one that's kind of switching.
Он, блядь, правой рукой. Куда ты какой call definitely be? У тебя в башке, блядь, definitely DB. То есть вот, у него рука лежит вот так вот, у чувачка вот того бедного. Естественно, когда он играет, допустим, первую струну, у него lot of noise отсюда валит. Что ты несешь, definitely DB?
Positions. So I would always analyze, is the index finger grazing any of the other strings while you transition back and forth? Is there any way of avoiding that? And maybe there's a little bit of anchoring happening with the index finger right here as well. It has always helped me quite a lot to not anchor with the index and to really feel the other fingers hammering on and pulling off, and only using the index when it's actually needed. So that might be a solution. And I'd also try to minimize the finger movements a bit so that it looks a little bit more like this. Right now it's angled a little bit, and you can see a lot of movement like that. So reducing the size of the hammer-on or pull-off movements until you get that kind of look, that can also really help with reducing the string noise, because you're not moving around that much anymore.
Что там?
Very nice.
Very nice, блядь, Гимли собрал просто все серево просто. Просто собрал все возможное серево. Very nice, блядь. Компромисс.
Awesome lighting.
Awesome lighting. Что ты несешь? Что с тобой не так?
Very, very cool video. So the one thing I...
Very cool video.
could see when it comes to the fretting hand technique right here is that the stronger fingers look really good already, but sometimes it looked a little bit like this, so the finger didn't come into contact with the string like that, so with the area that's pretty close to your fingernails. It was the flashy part that was playing the note, and whenever I do that, I kind of touch the other string as well, and I'm almost fretting 2 or more strings. So I would try to mimic what the strong fingers are doing right here with the pinky finger, just maintaining that nice curl and not hitting the string with the flashy part of the finger with a straight angle like this.
Бля, бедолашка за машинкой играет вообще. Просто скребет за машинкой вот так вот. Сейчас нам тоже скажут: very chunky sound, very nice player. Oh, it sounds very good. Там рассинхрон такой, что просто обосраться, просто. Просто, бля, даже слэш просто такой, типа, свою шляпу поправляет. Бля, ребят, даже мне не такой рассинхрон.
Now that sounds excellent. I always...
Что, сука? Ты несешь, сука? Что ты несешь, блядь? Бля, я не могу просто.
love hearing practice clips like this just to the metronome. That's the best way of improving your timing. Very, very steady playing right here. It's much harder than it looks to play perfectly in time at 80 beats per minute. And I love to focus on hand synchronization as well. Super relaxed picking technique, fingers.
Hand synchronization as well. Super relax. Вот это да. Вот это просто топовый инфо-цыган. Просто топовый.
Awesome practice clip.
Это такое кидало, я представляю, так заниматься. Наверное, конечно, люди радуются, когда, не знаю, там приходит ученик и действительно берет это вот все там. И я такой был бы, типа, слушай, великолепная игра. Шикарно просто. Я, честно говоря, сегодня поражен. Встал, знаешь, честно говоря, с плохим настроением. А вот сейчас ты сыграл мне, дорогой ученик, и я просто расцвел, я парю. Продолжай дальше, так же, классно, офигенно. А легато, покажи, как у тебя получается. И там... И я такой, слушай, искрометно. Хрустящая серединка есть, искрометно, все равно-то читается. Прекрасная легато. Мы с тобой команда, молодцы, такие двигаемся. Так, а покажи-ка бенд для домашнего задания. Чек там. Слушай, за душу взял. Прекрасный бенд, интонирование стопроцентное. У нас такой прогресс шикарный. Так двигаемся вообще, молодцы. Все, ты молодец. То есть, ну что это за подход, сука? Что это за подход, блядь? Просто...
Now this sounds really great as well. That's...
Ну все, я не могу уже. Понятно, короче. Просто скрипт ебаный. Получается, этот скрипт, типа, говоришь ему в патче, ну смотри, ёпта. It sounds very well, it sounds very cleanly, excellent sound. Да, ну на. It sounds very well, it's very chunky sound, sounds excellent. Сука, ну ладно, да вот так. Very great speed, it sounds excellent, very clearly. Блять, какой же скрипт.
It's from the 30-day clean playing challenge package I recently released on Patreon. That one's great for building technique. In case you didn't check it out yet, of course, there's always the link down below. I'm pretty much posting a brand new practice package every single week over there. So if you're not quite sure what to practice right now, being part of the awesome community on Patreon is what will help you out the most with all this for sure. What I like about this clip is the picking hand. You can clearly see the sweep picking movement like this. It's very relaxed and controlled. The angle is great. So with this clip, I would focus a bit more on the fretting hand because the picking hand is so awesome already. With one of those shapes, you could especially see right here. Yes, that there was a little bit of stretching or reaching involved in order to hit the target note on the low E string. And that's mainly because the thumb is a little bit displaced and not helping out the fretting hand fingers that much. Right here you can see it positioned behind the index finger right here on the 3rd fret. And that also makes it impossible for me to reach the target note that my pinky finger has to play. But as soon as I move it more into the middle like this, stretching becomes much, much easier. So as always, that would be my suggestion when it comes to finger technique, really supporting the fingers from behind the neck in a more central position instead of moving it all the way to the left right here. That makes stretching almost impossible. Awesome.
Awesome. Very nice player. Nice playing very cleanly.
Now this is an extremely difficult exercise, and what I really love seeing right here is that fluid sweeping or picking, where you barely see any individual strokes for the strings. It's just going down and up in a very relaxed way. So this already looks really, really good. When it comes to the comment saying it sometimes or often feels like there's too much resistance, one thing that sometimes happens is that people tend to dig in a little bit too much into the strings. So if you dig in with a big portion of your pick, you might feel like you feel that resistance for areas. Looks like I just broke a string by doing that, so that's also a negative outcome when you dig in a little bit too much with your guitar pick. I haven't changed strings in a while on this instrument, so I guess it's time to do that quite soon. So when you dig in too much, you don't only possibly break one of your strings, it will also feel like there's a little bit too much resistance and it's hard to fluidly glide in between the strings, which is what you want for sweep picking. So I would recommend just working with the tip and not with a parallel angle, just angling the pick a little bit more, just like you can see it right here. So that might be the main thing when it comes to the picking technique. Don't break your strings by digging in too much. This looks and sounds really, really good as well, and I love the fretting hand in this video. Pretty much perfect execution. The one thing that could be analyzed a little bit more is the picking technique. So if you ever feel like you're not getting the desired control or speed out of this approach right here, it might be because the pick grip looks a little bit like this, so with the very tip of the index finger and thumb, and I think the hand is open a little bit like this as well. What has helped me out a lot is sliding the pick right here instead of gripping it with the front of my index finger. That gave me a lot more stability and control. Because when I held it this way, it was always a little bit different every single day. But when I have the pick resting right here with that kind of grip, it's always pretty much exactly the same and I get the same results each day. So this is a pick grip that you can try out if you feel like inconsistency is holding you back a bit sometimes. Now that was awesome. That was really like inconsistency is holding you back a bit sometimes.
Но это еще хоть что-то наковырял. И ничего не меняется, вечный awesome. Хоть так, хоть так.
It's really, really cool. Let me listen to that again. I love this clip.
То есть тоже это полный новичок, но это хотя бы хоть что-то вырисовывается в этом новичке. Хотя опять же сам подход неправильный, это просто не его скорость, вообще не его скорость.
Amazing. That was really, really great. What I especially love when people play with distortion like this is when you don't hear those overlapping notes or that string noise that you often hear with distorted playing. I really love that you could hear every single individual note in this clip. They sounded really nicely articulated. Absolutely awesome. Nailed it. The technique doesn't just look effortless and really clean and fluid, it also sounds incredible. Awesome job. Now this is a clip I also really like because you see that modular picking. The technique doesn't just look effortless and really clean and fluid, it also sounds incredible. Awesome job. Now this is a clip I also really like because you see that modular picking approach once again, and it's pretty much one of my favorite chord voicings ever, that minor chord with the 9. And the chord is quite tricky because you essentially have to bar all the frets with your index finger, and you could still nicely hear those notes ring out most of the time. So this one's a great exercise for your fretting, and even though it might look very easy on the video, it's actually very difficult because you have to press down, especially with the index, to get all those notes to ring out. And with a clean tone, it's also not that easy to get those notes to sound nice, so I really love this clip as well. I also love this one because
этот чувак, да, тоже хоть что-то ковыряет, но сам подход, что типа пытаться ковырять свип в таком таким состоянии бессмысленно. И опять же, конечно же, не с такой рукой.
Hard to do with sweep picking, but the one and only thing you can see right here, because the fretting hand technique looks absolutely great and the note separation is pretty much perfect, is that you have a bit of individual picking attack for those strings. So what you want to see is that nice fluid down and up movement, and right here you still have small strokes for every single string, which is what you always have once you just start getting into sweep picking. So that would be my only focus, just kind of evening out those strokes a little bit more. It seems to be more of an issue with the downstrokes because the upstrokes like this look pretty fluid already, but with the downstrokes you can see those small strokes. That's the absolute last thing that stands in the way right here when it comes to playing this at a lightning fast speed, I would say. Nice.
Быстро звучит как точно на басе.
So it's the same exercise that playing this at a lightning fast speed, I would say. Nice.
Здесь все, да,
So it's the same exercise that we heard before, the tricky one with the sweep/economy picking, and it's super fun to see that in Rocksmith is what I think that is. Usually you have some more simple songs in there that just tell you which chords to play, I guess, but seeing an exercise like this that's all about technique inside Rocksmith is pretty fun. Lots of notes flying on that fretboard and really nice execution of the exercise as well already.
Вот этот чувак, вот такого плана вообще нулевой. Это просто гитару вчера взял.
Nice to see some jamming in the group as well. That sounded pretty cool already. Since the comment is about asking what could be improved, the one thing that might
Pretty
make
cool,
things
that
a lot
jamming.
easier actually right away concerns posture. So with this clip you see the neck or the head of the guitar, I should say, pointing down like this, which makes it a little bit tough for the fretting hand and also for the picking hand to find the right angle for the motion and technique. So once the guitar slides up a little bit like this, either by sitting in classical position or by just having a strap like that, and the neck or headstock is facing up like this, you get a much easier angle for your fretting hand. Right now you can also see the thumb sticking out like this, so the neck is kind of falling in between right here, which is something that doesn't really help when it comes to finger control, because you want the thumb to actively support the fingers. So even when my thumb peeks out a little bit like this for string bending or vibrato, it's still the thumb that supports the fingers, and it's not this kind of area that's just grabbing the neck like this. So that's the main thing I would work on for now, just some easy, subtle changes that will make all of this much more fun and quite easier right away, I think. Very nice. So
Very
this
nice.
exercise,
Okay,
as
very
mentioned in the
clean.
comment right here, is great for unlocking your
Very
wrist,
after
because
the
it's
beat.
basically impossible to play those fast funk patterns if your wrist is super stiff and the movement is just coming from an entire arm like that. So I love the wrist movement right here. Very, very nice. It looks the exact same for me, so that's pretty much the only point where my wrist pops out like this, and I'm working with a movement like this instead of having the hand or the palm placed on the bridge and just moving with my wrist like that. So I think that looks really, really good. Once again, if you find yourself getting stuck a little bit in between the strings, it might be because you're digging in a bit too much and there's too much resistance. I won't demonstrate this right now. I might break all of my other strings because they're pretty old. So for me, the movement looks great. That kind of sensation of working too hard or kind of getting stuck might come from digging in just a little bit too much in this case. So those are the practice clips that really stood out to me this week in the awesome Discord group of the Patreon community. If you want me to talk about your practice clips next week, just click the link down below, join a membership on Patreon that also has Discord access, post your practice videos on Discord, and I will talk about them next week. When you join over there today, you also of course get access to my premium guitar technique courses. They're included for free for all of my awesome Patreon members. Those will teach you exactly how to hold a pick, how the correct fretting hand technique looks like for playing fast, clean and controlled, and the step-by-step exercise approach that will actually get you there. So click the link below, join today, I'm waiting for you on Patreon.
Ну, разводила. Да, вот это полная печаль. Все, закончилось. Really nice, да, грув этот. Это просто пиздец.